think. We covered the camera in blood, and I was like, that was exactly, it was amazing. Yeah. And you went, too much. We
used that take though.
Did we?
That's the one we used in the episode, because the blood literally hit the lens.
It was amazing.
But you remember you chopped it 10 times.
It was
I remember being in there.
Yeah, he wouldn't stop.
No.
When I chopped
his leg off. It was infected.
The floor of the set.
Yeah, everybody looked at me. They sort of stepped away from me, the crew.
They saw something and it scared them.
He's a man with a machete.
Well, that was the best because they told us to go home because we were wrapped, and he was just going to do a single on Andy, and all of us were like, hell no, we're not leaving, we're watching this show. So we sat there watching him as he's hacking this leg. It was disgusting.
And my wife just said, it was a 16-hour day we did. My wife said, stay in Peachtree City where we film, you know, and I just went, yeah, of course. And I was so wired after chopping his leg. It was like 4 hours before I could sleep that night. And I nearly got stopped by the cops as well. And
I usually sleep after that 5 hours.
Sorry, what is that? Is that my wife?
Someone loves you. Someone loves you a lot.
I love you too.
I love you too, Norman. Pipe down.
Danai, beautiful Danai, I have a question for you. Isn't she great? Danai, your character began almost totally in silence. Like there was a long time before Michonne said anything, and everything was done with. Yes. With you know, reactions and what was going on in your mind. I say that you're like a computer, like you're calculating, everything's coming in. You're now opening up and you're starting to be more emotional on the show. So what, as an actor, is more difficult? Is it harder to be the tough, silent, stone person, or is it more telling or challenging to be the emotional, gushy Michelle?
It was harder to be silent. I'm not a silent chick. I like to talk. I express myself in words. I use my words, you know, maybe too much at times. So it was like, this chick is so different from me in that regard. But it was interesting because she was so, you know, there was a lot of intensity in everything she was doing. So it is actually easier to sort of, you know, be more released. But like the intensity was like the whole idea of emotional. It was like, I felt it was more emotional inside when I didn't talk. There was so much going on in her and so many ways that she was so guarded and defensive, but there were so many reasons for that. They were kind of trauma related. So she was always kind of, you know, on edge and ready to do whatever she had to do. So that was actually kind of, you know, that was a lot to work into.
I have a question for Glenn and Maggie. It's a question. It's for Lauren, but I think Stephen may have a rebuttal once you answer. Lauren, this is a rough one, but I gotta know. If Maggie had to choose between Glenn and Herschel, who would she choose? You have got this question now. It's life or death. One of them's gotta go. Who would you choose, girl?
We were drowning in the ocean. There's a lifeboat with 2 seats.
Who's getting in?
And one of them is a one-legged man who can't swim in the sharks. So you're gonna make me decide?
I want you to decide, girl.
Herschel.
Is it gonna be Herschel? It's Herschel today.
He'd float better with his leg.
I think Dad would want me to pick my boyfriend, but
Herschel's had a good life. He's lived a long life. Okay, so no rebuttal for Glenn.
Well, Stephen, who would you pick? Me or Herschel?
Oh, what? I would make her pick Herschel, and then I would drift away on plywood forever.
Like Titanic. That's why I love it. That's the way you do it. And make her think about her decision for the rest of her life.
And then he'd hook up with like a zombie mermaid or something.
Yeah.
No.
Wait, no.
So, Greg Nicotero, you create all of these fabulous special effects, right? Is there one in particular that you're like, this one they're going to love? And it doesn't have to be a spoiler about what's to come. Is there one that you've done in the past that you're like, this one is it?
We had a great run this year. There's one of the scripts that Robert wrote. There's a really great walker. It's teased in the Comic-Con trailer, so you guys have probably seen it already. Just sort of pushing it to the limit. And this year we've done a lot more with the walkers. again, sort of making them a threat again and having a lot more proximity to them. I've directed 2 episodes, so of course I always put as many walkers in my episodes as I can. But, there's some really great stuff coming up. I can't wait for people to see it.
Okay.